here. All right, Utah and Oregon State. We've got Oregon State 3-point home favorites in Corvallis, 44.5, 45 being the total in this game. This actually opened Oregon State, Conor, 1.5-point home favorites, now up to 3. I understand why. And look, I liked Utah last week against UCLA. I stuck with with Utah, even with Cam Rising out again, because look, Nate Johnson's a capable quarterback. They interchange Barnes in there as well. And more than anything, Utah's got that New York Jets component to them this season, where their defense is good enough to win them football games. And that's exactly what we saw from them. They completely smothered both Garbers and Dante Moore, the two quarterbacks for UCLA last week. It was just a dominant defensive effort from Utah. I can't say enough how good they were. And that's now 2 home games in a row. And it's tough to beat Utah at home at Rice-Eccles Stadium there in Salt Lake. But that's now 2 home games against solid enough competition. Florida in the opener, UCLA last Saturday, where Kyle Whittingham, even without his starting quarterback, he has coached the fuck out of this team to get them prepared, good game plan, everybody ready to go, next man up mentality. He is just an outstanding college football coach. And I say that every game we talk about Utah, but it's so true. He's done such a great job. And to have them just playing that well this year multiple times without not just any starting quarterback, a really good one, in Cam Rising, tells you just how well this guy can coach. So they're playing well, Utah. They've shown that the ability to still win games. I mean, here they are 4-0, undefeated, without Cam Rising playing a single snap so far this season. Speaks volumes about this Utah team. But they are going to a tough environment, tough place to play. There's going to be some people that back Utah here. I know it. +3. Undefeated team, playing great football, finding ways to win. And it's tough to go against Utah anywhere right now. But I still am a little more leery of Utah on the road. Keep in mind, at Baylor, they snuck out of there with a win in the one road game they've played this year, 20-13. That was not an easy game. They could have lost that game. They needed a late score to put that game away. They're not nearly as dominant away from Salt Lake City. And I'm not throwing Oregon State into the garbage can just because they had a bad game on Saturday against, I think now we can officially say, a very good Washington State team. Washington State's really good. Cameron Ward, to me, looks like one of the most improved quarterbacks in college football right now. And he was pretty good last year. But, man, he's taken his game to another level. I mean, he's just making all the throws, slicing and dicing what had been an excellent Jonathan Smith-coached Oregon State defense prior to Saturday against Washington State. So I think you credit Washington State for a great game and a great offensive performance every bit as much as you criticize Oregon State. And I don't think Oregon State, Conor, is incapable of bouncing back here. Let's not forget this is a tough as fuck place to go in there and beat this Oregon State team. I know DJ Uiagalelei definitely didn't have his best game against Washington State, nor did the defense, which had been very good. But to me, it's a little buyer beware if you're going to take Utah. I would not be on Utah here. I lean Oregon State. It's up to 3 now. Keep that in mind as a home favorite. But I told you last week on this show, I don't like betting against Utah at home. I won't bet against Utah at home. And I kind of feel that way about Oregon State. That has become a really, really tough place for the visitor to come in and try to beat this team. And let's not forget, Utah almost lost at Baylor in the one road game they've had this year. And we know Baylor's no good from everything we've seen to this point. So Oregon State, I understand why they're taking money. I do. What do you think here, C-Mac? Great matchup. Fantastic. Very, very interested to see how it goes Friday night, Utah, Oregon State.
Yeah, it's actually just gone how it's supposed to. All the money here with Oregon State to push this to 3 because it's right. They're just an unbelievable team at home. Now you get this to like 3, maybe this goes 3.5. People want to look Utah's way. And, defense does travel, but Utah, just like Oregon State, you talked about, not the same team on the road. And I worry about the offense, and then can the defense keep them around, but can they make enough plays to win this game? And, I think they maybe can, but that was one of my late plays. I played Washington State, on Saturday. I was going back and forth, and they came through. I just kind of faded Oregon State on the road. I was a little surprised. Ward threw for 400 yards on the Oregon State defense. I think this will be better because Utah doesn't have a crazy offense that's going to throw it all over the place. They just don't, not with Rising in there. at all. Total's kind of low. I think it's tight. And I just don't love that it's moved to 3. Oregon State wins this game. I just don't know if you want to lay the field goal now. That's what I do.
It's a great game, though. Very, very interesting game. This probably is a low. I think Utah, again, it's Cam Rising watch every week. I thought for sure UCLA last week was going to be the week that he came back and still didn't play. So I'm done guessing right now. We'll see. I'll let the week play out before saying on this show, we're going to see Cam Rising back because clearly this injury is taking longer to heal than we thought. So again, keep an eye on that.